Today in this video I am going to discuss with you about how to write or name binary compounds. Although we have discussed in my previous video about how to write chemical formulas, okay, so it will be easier for you to understand today's concept or topic, but some points are new to you, and please focus on it so that it will help you later on. Okay, so let's start our topic today: naming binary molecular compounds. Binary means two. Okay, so for naming a binary molecular compounds, we first write the name of the element whose symbol appears on the left hand side of the molecular formula of the compound. The name of the other element is changed to end in "ide". Okay, for example, if we write HCl, what will be the name? It will be hydrogen chloride. I hope you have understood that it ends with "ide". Okay, so most of the compounds, they are named like this in case of binary molecular compounds. Okay, when two elements combine to form compounds, in that case sometimes more than two elements combine together of the same element. Okay, suppose in case of carbon and oxygen combination, it is not always possible that only one oxygen is attached or two oxygen is attached to carbon to form compound. So how we do the naming then? So here are the some points I have mentioned. When there are more than one elements of an element in a compound, their number is indicated by attaching a Greek numeral prefix. What is prefix, children? Prefix means these are the terms which are used before the name. Okay, so for example, if the element is 1, then you will put mono. If it is 2 in number, then you will put di. If it is 3 in number, then you will put tri. If it is 4, then tetra. 5, then penta. 6, then hexa. Okay, very important part here I have mentioned that it may be noted that O or A at the end of a prefix is dropped if it is followed by another vowel. For example, A, E, I, O, U. Suppose monooxide. Okay, in case of monooxide, this O of mono is dropped when you write monooxide. Similarly, pentaoxide, here this term A is dropped because the next term is starting with the verb. Okay, so vowel O, that's why A is dropped, so it will be named as pentoxide. Okay, some of the examples I have written here: number of atoms, when it is 1, you will use prefix as mono, and formula is CO, so the name will be carbon monoxide. See here, double O is not written, here also O is dropped. Understood? So this is how we do the naming of binary molecular compounds. If it is 2 in number, the number of atoms, then you will put the prefix as di. So the name will be carbon dioxide. Okay, children? Similarly for tri, if it is 3 in number of atoms, then PCl3 is an example I have written here. So the name is phosphorus trichloride because 3 chloride atoms are here attached to one phosphorus. So you will put tri prefix. Okay. Now if the number of atoms is 4, suppose CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. Tetra because 4 chlorine is there, so it will be tetrachloride. Now if it is 5, then it will be pentachloride. Okay. Now very important point, another important point which you have to note is about nitrogen and oxygen. See children, some of the compounds, okay, in my previous video earlier I talked about metals and non-metals. Generally metals and non-metals, they combine to form compounds, but it is not applicable every time. Okay, some of the compounds, they are made up of two non-metals also. I have written here some examples, and in the description box I will give you one tabular form. From there you can note it down. Here I am talking about combination of nitrogen and oxygen. In this case, children, nitrogen and oxygen both are non-metals, but they have tendency to form more than one compound, means they form 6 different types of compounds. So I have named it like nitrogen monoxide. Mono is written because single oxygen is there. Okay, if it is 2, then you will put nitrogen dioxide. If it is 1 oxygen but 2 nitrogen, then you will, in this case you will put di just before nitrogen, because 2 nitrogens are there, so dinitrogen monoxide. When 2 nitrogen and 3 oxygen are there, then you will write dinitrogen trioxide. When 2 nitrogen 4 oxygen are there, then you will write dinitrogen tetraoxide. N2O5 is written as dinitrogen pentaoxide. But some exceptions, you know, in chemistry, biophysics, in science, there are a lot of exceptions. So here also some important point which you have to note it, that about hydrogen. Hydrogen is also considered as sometimes metal, but sometimes non-metal also, just because of their you can say unique behavior, since it has only one electron in its outermost shell. So sometimes it can lose one electron and behave as metal. However, sometimes it gains also one electron and behave as non-metal. So that's why it shows some different unique characteristic. When hydrogen is the first element in the formula, no prefixes are added. This is very important before it. Okay, for example, if you are writing H2S, so here 2 hydrogen is there, but you will not write it as dihydrogen sulfide. It is not correct. You will write hydrogen sulfide. Okay, similarly when you are writing H2O, H2O is also not named as dihydrogen oxide. Okay, it is named as just commonly known as water. Okay, some of the compounds, children, binary compounds, they are just named as by their common names. So this is also given in the description box. You can look into it and just go through it. Okay, so some binary compounds I have written here are named by their common names. For example, water, that is H2O, NH3, ammonia. You never write it as nitrogen trihydride or carbon tetrahydride for methane. Okay, so some of the compounds, because children sometimes they get confused while writing the names, although they have read about different formulas, different rules for writing the names, but sometimes when they are in deep thought or going through studies, they get confused over it, ma'am, how to write it in chemical name. So don't get confused. Some of the compounds, they are just named as their common names. I hope you have enjoyed my video and understood all the concepts. Thanks for watching.